So some hotels will give you access to some, let's talk about tracking, right? There's a couple ways that you can track your room block. Some hotels will give you access to a system called Passkey. And Passkey will give you a link and as well as a username and password so you can log in, see your room block, see how many rooms you've picked up, and download your room report. Sometimes if people book outside the block, which is to say, let's say I register for your live event, I know it's happening at the Ritz-Carlton, and I just call the Ritz-Carlton and I book a room. I don't tell them I'm with you, and maybe I have a Marriott discount code, and I got one free night or something, whatever. There could be a number of reasons that they book outside the block.
What's the most common one?
Honestly, the most common one is they find a cheaper room rate on Expedia or Orbitz or one of the wholesale websites.
You cannot be upset about this.
Yeah.
This is the way the world works these days. I have clients all the time that are like, an attendee just told us they found a lower rate on Trivago, on Orbitz, on whatever. It is just the way the world works. There's a certain number of rooms that the hotels are giving to the big wholesalers to market at a special discount because they're buying in massive volume.
Way more than your room.
Way more than you. Even if you have a big event, Orbitz, Trivago, they're all booking way more rooms than you. So they get a special discount that they can remarket to their audience. And they often come with rate restrictions, non-cancelable, or they have special benefits that you don't have, but they're in small numbers. They're buying in big volume, but on any one night, they have a small number of rooms to sell at that special rate. It's not like they're going to bankrupt your block. So just let it be. But here's the key thing. If you've negotiated a good clause in your contract called an audit clause, it allows you to pull all of those rooms into your block. So we don't really mind that they might have booked on Marriott points or Starwood points, or because now Marriott and Starwood. We don't mind that they might have booked on Travelocity. We don't mind that they might have found the room somewhere else. A AAA discount, a government discount. You know why? We're going to send them the reg list, have them do an audit, and pull every room that's outside our block into our block, regardless of what rate was paid. Now, for that to happen, you have to have it in your contract. So it's really critical to have that in your contract, that little audit clause that allows you to do that. But when you do, you'll find, I've never had an event where there's not a room booked outside our block. So you'll get to pull those in.
That's one of the tricky things about Passkey is it doesn't always give you rooms that were booked outside the block. In fact, it never does.
And it's what we also find with Passkey is best, I think, for like, I woke up in the middle of the night in my event sweats. And by that, I don't mean sweatpants. I mean like sweating the event. And you're like, oh, I'm freaking out over rooms. I would love to know how we're doing. You can log into Passkey and get a real-time update. It just tends to only be about 80% accurate. So we do what?
One of the things that we do regularly is ask the hotel for room reports, which is essentially them pulling a list of people who have booked under your room block, as well as a summary of your entire room block. Once we do that, we always compare the list of names of people who have booked under our block to the attendee list and see where the discrepancies are. And now you have a way to help market or help fill your room block, which is to go to those people who have not booked a room and ask them to book it. Exactly.